Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Let me just make sure everything is working. For some reason, my intro video has not been working lately, and I just don't know the reason why. So instead of leaving you in the dark for a couple of minutes until I figure that out, I will just share it a different way, I guess. Let's see. That's not working, and that's not working. All right. Let's see. I think it's this one. Yes. We are starting shortly. But I would like to actually start right with my intro video. So let's do that. I will be right back, and then I will be right back again. Let's see. All right, we are here. We are here. Let me do my splash video. Let me see where it is. There it is. Okay, hide this. Whew. Interesting night, guys. Interesting night. Be right back. All right. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you all for your patience as I navigated that stuff. Let me do my tech check, and then I'll do introductions. Again, thank you for the patience as I experienced a little bit of a delay there. That was interesting. I'm not quite sure why my intro video didn't automatically load up today, but you know, stuff happens. You got to roll with the punches, right? So, checking the book of face and checking the tube of you. Yes, that looks good. And that looks good as well. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Tech checks are done. We are ready to roll tonight. And hello, Fran. I see you there. Good evening to you, too. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Tarot by Hilary Live. I am your hostess with the mostest, Hilary of tarotbyhilary.com, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. So on tonight's episode, I decided to revisit a past topic that I taught. And I taught it a really, really long time ago. I thought it was only like maybe last year, maybe the year before that I taught it. No, no, no. We are going back a few years. I can't tell you the exact date or the exact year, but I know it was around it had to have been around episode 16 of Card Slingers Coast to Coast, which is the podcast that I do with Melissa Sonova and Jamie Elford. And yeah, so that's how I know, because I have the original notes or the original description from the first time I taught this. Oh, and Helen is here. Hello, welcome, Helen. Welcome back, Helen. Kia ora and Morena or Marina from New Zealand. My pronunciation probably stinks. Sorry for that, but greetings to you as well. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, a little bit about this topic, and we might revisit, we might go backwards and look at that video, the original video, but basically we're getting charmed. We're getting charmed tonight with charm casting. So this is a revisitation of a past episode that I did around episode 16, Into the Mystic of Card Slingers Coast to Coast podcast, for more information and roughly how I know that that's when I first taught it. So we're going to learn about what charm casting is, some charm casting systems that I personally use, and also cultivating your own charm casting kit, which you can totally do. Now, I still haven't. Oh, good. I'll wait for this note to pop up from Helen. I did well. I did well on the pronunciation. Fantastic. So I still haven't, even these years later, fully integrated my charm casting collections into one comprehensive set. So I still have my individual sets there. So I can tell you like which is coming from the Lenormand charm casting kit, which is coming from the Charming Dead Oracle kit, and which is coming from the mediumship. Hold on, let me look. Got my stuff right here. Mediumship and casting seer charms sets. So those are the big three charm casting kits that I have. And I believe all three of them are originated by Carrie Paris. So I love Carrie Paris. I am a divination magpie. I love all things divination. So I'm not just a tarot reader. Tarot is my main squeeze. It is how I access my intuition the most often, or is the tool that I use to most often access my intuition. But I do love me different divination systems outside of tarot. You know, I love the Lenormand, or the little cards, as some of my clients like to call them. You know, I've been experimenting with different oracle decks, different divination systems such as Kipper as well. There's also there's more divination systems than that, but those are the ones that I've had experience with. Kipper is the newest one to my mind. So I'm very happy that that got sent to me, I think from Kipper, was that Llewellyn? I think Llewellyn sent me the Kipper deck that I have. So, but charming charms are, or casting charms, is a little bit different than a card-based system or cartomancy system. And you know, there are rules to them, and also there is a time to learn the rules and then a time to throw out the rules. And certainly I found with charm casting that that it's a very intuitive based thing, and you kind of have a little bit of, you form a relationship, I found, with your charm casting kit and with your different charms. So like if there's like a baby carriage in your charm sets, you might have a different association with baby carriage than another person using that charm set would have. So there's definitely like, you've got the rules, you've got the standard keywords that go along with that. But from what I've been taught, especially with the mediumship, so I actually took a class with Carrie Paris regarding mediumship and casting charms. You don't have to just use casting charms or charm casting for just mediumship. You can use it for other things too, but that is how I learned how to use charm casting, was through mediumship and connecting with spirits. That class taught me to, here's the rules, and then, okay, Start writing down what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what you're hearing, any sense that you're getting. Like it's like a fully like immersive experience, right? And Sophia is here. Hello, Sophia. Sophia says, I want to get into charm casting, but I already spend money on too much shit. Right, exactly. So we're going to talk a little bit about that too, because, there are certainly aspects of divination that can be a little bit cost prohibitive, I would say, where, magpie, 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 right? We want all the bright and shiny things, especially with charm casting. But Carrie Paris has once said that you can use anything to be a fortune telling kit or a charm casting. Like you can literally and this is the example that Melissa cites a lot about Carrie. You can reach into your purse, and if you reach into your purse and you pull out a lipstick, that means one thing. But if you pull out a pack of tissues, it means something different, right? So your charm casting can be whatever you want it to be. And so I'm kind of skipping ahead a little bit because we haven't even gotten into the AstroBiz Digest. So we're definitely going to look at the AstroBiz Digest because we did have the full moon in Aries this week. So got to talk about that, right? But charm casting, you can curate your casting kit with bits and bobs from wherever, and it doesn't necessarily have to be cost prohibitive. You can form your own, which I haven't taken that step yet because I have 3 different casting kits here that I want to talk about, and I've kept them separated. Come out and play. Don't sue me. But I may eventually integrate these 3 sets into one mega. But my point is, you can use shells, you can use lipstick, you can use acorns, you can get beads, you can use a thimble, you can use buttons, you can use all sorts of things. So you don't necessarily have to, buy the farm in order to start exploring charm casting. Okay. Yeah, I see. And that's the reason why I said what I said before I went on to this comment here. If I allow myself to get into trinkets, it's over for me. I get it, but I am a big believer in using what you have as well. So look around, take stock of what you already have, because I promise you, Miss Magpie, you've got stuff that you can use to get into charm casting and making your own meaning. So it's just like, oh, this pink button, this is the association I have with this pink button. And that's going to be my association for the pink button. And then you can allow nuance to come into it, of course, when you're starting to use it, but it's just like pink button, this, red licorice, this, So there's ways to do this that is not breaking the bank, basically. Ooh, I'm not a SpongeBob person, but I'll have to take your word for it. But it's like that SpongeBob scene with the chip tissue and lint. Sure. If that's the reference that you're making, then that's the reference that you're making. So I started up the episode before grabbing water and my beverage of choice. So I'm going to run and do that, and I will be right back. And I'm pretty sure I have a fancy video for that too. So allow me to indulge in my fancy videos. Let's see. I think it's just called BRB. Found it. I know it's silly, but indulge me. All right. Okay, yes. So I will be right back and grab myself some water and probably a Rosemary's Baby because it is October. We're feeling the pumpkin beer at this point. So I will be right back. Okay. I've got to do that a little bit longer next time around. Just like I have to grab the beer and the this and the that. And also, you're probably going to see me fizz the beer. Oh, and I wanted to plug in my phone too. Anyway, so we have a lot to cover tonight. Um, and I think I just want to kind of like teach it off the cuff a little bit and then go back, right? Go back to the previous episode that happened many, many moons ago about charm casting. But just so you know, if you're worried about, oh, I'm going to miss out, or oh, I can't hang around for the full episode. We already there's always going to be replays. So the replay is going to be available of this one. And then also we have one already in the archives. So you're covered on both fronts, because sometimes I like to reteach these things because there might be something new I discovered between when I taught it previously and now, or, there might be, or I might be saying the exact same thing, but that makes it just even more powerful, like that it's just like, oh yeah, I really do know what I'm talking about when I talk about charm casting. And sometimes like, I'm like, oh yeah, I did say that back then, didn't I? All right. So I like reteaching these topics because sometimes I find something that I didn't previously realize, and I get to go deeper into my teaching, and then you guys learn more and you guys learn more deeply. Or, I just remember how much I already know about that topic too. And that's a great way, I think, to approach things that you're learning is observe it and, learn however you want to learn. But sometimes you want to learn it to the point where it's just like, I'm going to be teaching this to somebody else that knows nothing about this topic, because you'd surprise yourself. You'll actually learn more deeply and you'll actually retain more about this topic. So you do you. If you want to just sit back and absorb what I'm saying, that's fine. But if you want to take notes, you can take notes as well. But just know the replays are available of both episodes. All right, here we go. I'm tapping. I'm waiting for the fizz. Oh, phew. It didn't fizz quite as much as I thought it was going to. So cheers to you guys. Cheers to October. Happy witchy season, everybody. I am drinking Rosemary's Baby by Two Roads Brewing, which is a pumpkin ale brewed with spices and aged in rum barrels with vanilla beans. So it's got a vanilla-y, pumpkin-y. It's like my favorite. I think it's my favorite pumpkin ale. Because it's sweet, but it's not too sweet. And it is 6.8%. So, and yes, if you're familiar with my old setup of where I used to do my live streams in the kitchen at my old apartment, you would see, you'll probably remember this. Either it was in the kitchen or in the living room of my old apartment. I would put up my my metal signs of Rosemary's Baby and Coney Island Mermaid Pilsner. Those are the two tin signs that we have that we still haven't hung up after all of these years. But you'll see the carriage, the pumpkin carriage. Speaking of baby carriage, charm. So to throw back there, if you're an OG who has been watching this live stream for 5 years now. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. All right. So let us first get into the first pillar of the live stream, which is the Astro Biz Digest, Astro Weather from Teresa Reed, aka the Tarot Lady. It is a wonderful subscription, year-long subscription. Astrology in layman's terms, straight to your email inbox. It is geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners, but I found it to be incredibly helpful in planning my personal life as well. And Katie's here. Katie is here just in time for the astrology, Katie. You are right on time. So again, if you're not familiar with the live stream and what we do, I usually cite the big happenings in the cosmos for this week. And then I get into the details for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because this is Teresa Reed's work, and I want to be able to shout her out without also giving away the farm. So if you're liking what you're hearing and you want to sign up for the AstroBiz Digest for yourself, the link is in the chat for you to go ahead and do so. thetarotlady.com/AstroBiz Digest. Yeah, exactly. Katie's like, just in time for AstroBiz. Yes, exactly. So I know that the big stuff going on this week is the full moon in Aries. How do I know that? Because I'm in Aries, you know? So let's take a look-see. Let's take a peek-see. And also, I want to keep this episode tight as well because we do have Gala Darling's new web series, Vortex Vision, coming out at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I want to be able to tune in live for that. And I want you guys to be able to tune in live for that. There's also a giveaway that's happening this week of a varsity jacket. That's like pink and fabulous. And by the way, spoiler alert, it's me. I'm going to win it. All right. So don't even try. It's mine. It's mine already. So Katie's saying hi to Sophia. Hello. Nice to see you back here. Yeah, Sophia's back, man. She back. By the way, Sophia, your reading today was spot on. Spot on. I feel like I might be coming down with something or I might be fighting something. Like you're like, go follow Benevolent Corvus and get your reading. It was a very mundane reading, but sometimes we need those practical readings, y'all. We need them. And I am definitely fighting off something for sure. So check out her readings. All right. Oh my gosh. So much email. Show me AstroBiz Digest. Yes. Okay. So let's get into it. Two big happenings this week. One you already know about because I spoiled it for you. Yes. Yes, Katie. Yes. You have to win that pink jacket, Hilary. Did you guys see it? Did you guys see? Did you look? Oh my God. Oh my God. It's perfect. And the winner personalized. So I've already put it in. So I'm taking one of Gala's courses right now, Lover Girl Devoted. So our tapping session was just earlier today, like right before therapy as well. So fantastic timing. And so we're doing the tapping and I'm in the chat and we're about to finish up so that I could go to my therapy appointment. And I'm just like putting in the chat and just like, by the way, so just to make it easy for you guys, this is what I want embroidered on it. And this is the number that I want. Okay, just to make it easier for you guys. When I win, this is what I want. Sophia's putting in a request for merch for Card Slingers. Card Slingers varsity jackets when? Oh, I will have to discuss with the crew. I will have to discuss with the Card Slingers crew, but that would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Leatherman jackets. Yeah, with the sleeves and the okay. We'll look into it. Right now we're still working on water bottles and stickers, and right now we still have only Jamie that has the official merch of the water bottle with this one star. This water bottle is not a tarot deck. So we're working on it slowly but surely. Sophia says those mushroom cards are great for that. Super direct, but always for the most mundane things. You know, I love a good mundane reading as well. And I do have to tell you, I don't know if I mentioned this. I must not have because we didn't do the show last week because I was just worn down, my friends. I was worn down. I thank you all for your patience about that. But I did readings. I did readings at a bar last Monday. Is it last Monday? Not this Monday, the Monday before. So, and I broke, did I break out the weird cards? Yes, I did. I broke out some of the weird cards. So Sophia knows what I'm talking about, and you guys probably do too. If you've ever watched the unboxing of the Sorcery Underground, I broke out the weird cards. And it got weird, but it was very accurate. All right. So Fran said I think I already follow her. Okay. I already saw that. And then pick your favorite pick your favorite Melissa expletive for the name. Ooh, probably I would say if I had to pick, I would probably pick naked, Nekkid, because there's a difference between being naked and being naked. Yeah, yeah, I know, Fran. It was something about last week, right? All right. Back to the astro-weather. Whew. Okay. Okay. We've got a lot to cover. We've got a lot to cover. So full moon in Aries on the 17th. So that was yesterday. We are still feeling it. Full moon and new moon stuff can be felt the 3 days before, the day of, and 3 days after. Like you are definitely feeling the full moon energy right now, and you are feeling it in Aries. So if you have Aries in your chart anywhere, you're probably feeling it in those areas. Now, for me, I'm super, super happy. I'm sun sign Aries. I'm Mars in Aries. I'm Venus in Aries. I am very happy with full moon in Aries. Okay. So full moon signal completion. And this moon may be the wrap up of things you began in the spring. Tie up your loose ends, celebrate your wins, and collect your harvest. If you want to take the day off, that's fine too. Just don't forget to acknowledge how far you've come. That's a big key to success and big key to manifestation as well. Like if you don't celebrate your successes, then when you're working towards your successes and when your success actually happens, you're going to feel exactly the same because you're not celebrating it. So celebrate it, right? Even if it's a little thing, a little way of celebrating it, celebrate it so that you can feel the difference in the energy, okay? Helen was also exhausted this week as well as last week. Yep, we're all there. We're all there. We're feeling it. Also, full moons for me, hit or miss. I'm either up until the crack of dawn or like very, very energized, or I'm exhausted. And sometimes it's a little bit of both, depending on the full moon and what the full moon is in. This one, like I slept for like 12 hours this week. Not every day this week, but at least one of the days, I think I got 12 hours. And I still woke up feeling really tired because I feel like my dream life was very like a lot of downloads happening. So it wasn't entirely a restful sleep either, which, you know. So that's number one, full moon in Aries. And then clients want fun when Venus enters Sagittarius, also on the 17th. So these two things happened yesterday. All right, we're still feeling the effects. How can you make folks feel good? Bring hope and inspiration into your marketing materials, and you'll win hearts and sales. This doesn't mean spiritual bypassing, by the way. Witnessing what's happening in the world and sharing your grief is okay. That's called being human. Venus in Sagittarius is also a fantastic transit for business travel, for risks, and pitching to the media or publishers. And Venus remains here until November 11th. So we've got a nice stretch of Venus in Sagittarius energy that's going on until November 11th. So you can take advantage of that in all of those areas. Marketing materials, bring hope and inspiration, business, travel, risks, pitching to media and publishers. Okay? All right, so those are the big two happening this week. So let's get into the nitty gritty for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Friday, today, October 18th, Friday is chill AF thanks to the Taurus moon. Make art, beautify your office, shake hands on partnerships, all of that. Settle down at the desk for a financial organization session when the moon sextiles Saturn at 1:13 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's crazy because I am just looking at this now, and that's exactly what I was doing. I was literally like balancing my checkbook and looking at my client list and seeing like, okay, here's the clients that have already booked. Here's the ones that I've already sent out. Okay. And all the financial stuff. I was doing that at exactly 1:13 p.m. today. That's a little nutty. If it's been a minute since you looked at your profit and loss statement, do it now. I did it. The rest of the day remains laid back. You may want to take off early to play. My plan. Power day for Taurus and a weekday for Scorpio. So Helen says it's Saturday. It's Saturday morning here. Yes. So we have two of you at this point that is watching the live stream of a Saturday morning. So it's both you and Katie are both watching on a Saturday morning. So it's all very timey-wimey up here. So it's still Friday night for me, but it's Saturday morning for you. So Saturday and Sunday. Saturday finds the Taurus moon conjunct Uranus at 10:11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, a dynamic aspect for original creativity and financial surprises. If you are creative with your marketing, you might get a good money surprise. Creativity gets another boost when the moon sextiles Neptune at 12:28 p.m. In other words, Saturday is all right for making content or art. The energy shifts when the moon enters talkative Gemini at 4:07 p.m. This means it's time to focus on writing, meetings, cleaning out the inbox, and signing contracts. Just watch out for the Moon-Venus opposition at 8:30 p.m. The public could be surly and peers could be gossipy. Meh. Call it a night if you can. Sunday is all clear, marvelous for a full day devoted to writing. However, a block sets in when the moon squares Saturn at 2:07 p.m. Suddenly, you're not feeling it, and that's fine. It's Sunday. Go off and play, if you can. Saturday is a power day for Taurus and a weekday for Scorpio, and Sunday is a power day for Gemini and a weekday for Sagittarius. All right. And by the way, the day of the full moon was a power day for Aries and a weekday for Libra, which is not surprising. Yeah, exactly, Katie. Katie says we just have to translate the times. Yep. All right. So at this point, I'd like to open up the floor for if anyone wanted to know the astrological reason why for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. If you say Thursday, full moon in Aries. That's all I gotta say. Full moon in Aries. So I'll give you guys a minute. I'm gonna hydrate-ish with beer. Don't worry, I got my water here too. Got my water. Very important to hydrate. And if you don't have any questions, further questions about the astrology, we can move into the topic, which is casting charms. So I see Stephanie's here. Hi, Stephanie. I don't know when you crept in, but welcome. Monday, please, was a rough one. Monday. Oh, yeah. Today is phew. Yeah. Fran's like, no, this week was too long by Monday afternoon. I will say that Tuesday was the Mondayest Tuesday. I will say that. I was just like, oh, yeah, well, it's like, oh, well, we're at the start of the week. And she's like, it's Tuesday, Hilary. I'm like, damn it. So in Teresa's words, she says about Monday, today is phew. First, the moon is in Pisces, which tended to make everyone emotional, including you. This energy is amplified in a negative way due to the Sun-Mars square, floating in the background all day. Volatile aspect associated with aggression, nasty competition, and authoritarian vibes. The news cycle will undoubtedly be filled with drama, distracting the public. While I'd like to say the day will improve, it's not likely. And normally she does not say that. She's normally pretty, like, always looking to put a positive spin. But, like, if it's negative, it's negative, Although the Moon-Saturn conjunction at 2:09 p.m. provides discipline to get shit done, the evening is unpredictable once Venus approaches Uranus at 6:22 p.m. And then that lingered for about 3 days. PR campaigns, group activities, trouble for business spending. Take the day off. Step lightly until Wednesday. Power day for Pisces, weekday for Virgo. So Stephanie, if you're looking for that excuse why Monday was a shit show, it astrologically was, in fact, a shit show. Yeah. So, FFS. I was more emotional Monday than I have been in years. Glad to know it wasn't just me. It was not just you. It was not just you. Katie says, I've had a tired week all week, so I'm guessing that was the full moon, I presume. Yes, I'm not sure if you were in here before. You might have just arrived. But I was saying that full moons affect me in one of two ways. I either get really, really energized or I get really, really depleted. So that could be what's going on, the full moon. Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Okay. Well, if you think of it, if you think of it, you can put it in the chat. I'm always monitoring the chat. So tonight's episode, we were talking about charm casting. So this is a revisitation of a past episode that I've taught. And yeah, so I did start with kind of like, I guess I went to my notes and I kind of started at the end because of the comment that Sophia had about like, I've been, you know, holding back on learning charm casting because it feels like magpie nature. I don't want to spend a lot of money. I don't want to like dive into the deep end. And it's just like, you don't have to. Like, if you happen to be a collector by nature, and you already have a collection of shells or stones or crystals. Now, would I say crystal collecting can add to or enhance a charm collection? Probably. It depends on the crystal. So I usually keep that separated, but who knows? You might find a really nice piece of citrine or carnelian that's kind of a tumbled. I would say if you have tumbled crystals, then you could probably use that for charm casting. I probably wouldn't recommend other types of crystals or not very big crystals to add into your charm casting. But again, you do you, because the purpose of charm casting is to actually cast those charms, right? Hold on. Let me clean up a little bit. So I've got my work out here and my cards out here from a Zoom session that I did earlier this morning. So what you normally do with the charm casting is you cast it onto a spread. So there is something to be said about having the charms, picking out the charms, or casting them onto a spread. So there's like a couple of components going on here, right? You've got the charms themselves, and then you have the spread, or you have the spread cloth. Now, there are a couple of places that do a couple of different things. You can use a pendulum cloth. You can use that and cast your charms on there, especially if there is a pattern or some kind of imagery on the spread cloth itself. You can then take where the charm fell and how the charm fell in relation to the imagery that's on that spread to kind of combine the two things. It's almost, I would liken it to positional meanings in a tarot spread, where it's just like, oh, okay, so this card in this positional meaning equals this interpretation. So you can kind of do it that way if you're familiar with tarot, or for like Lenormand, if you have the grand tableau kind of spread, where you have like the house of mice, house of the cross, house of the sun. You can start to combine where things fall and the context of that particular charm, what it means to you in the context of the spread, and then come up with your interpretation that way. So I would say, friend, this is an excellent question. I don't read bones, so I would not presume to say that it's like a bone reading. But I also would say that that's probably the root, I would say. Like, that charm casting comes out of bone reading or the practice of bone reading. Of course, it's going to be a little bit different. And we also don't want to appropriate something that is not ours. But I think it's akin to it. But again, I'm not a bone reader. So if anyone happens to be watching that also does bone readings, like they can answer the question, but it's like I guess it would be a complementary divination system to bone reading. Because since I'm not a bone reader, I can't really speak to that because if I was a bone reader, I could probably be like, oh yeah, and this, and it's just like how this is placed, like. And again, this is not my main divination. And actually, more often than not, when I'm casting charms, um, I'm casting them for myself and my connection with the spirits, and not necessarily on behalf of somebody else in the space of a paid reading. I will do it very, very rarely and only if somebody asks and I'm feeling confident. And I also ask for help too, much in the same way I ask for help with Lenormand because I've been learning Lenormand for years. I wouldn't say I've mastered it. I wouldn't say it's my main squeeze. I have some familiarity with it enough that I am comfortable using it with clients, but I still don't have that comfort level as I do with the tarot. I don't know if that answered the question or caused more questions. So what I want to do is show you a couple of the sets that I have. Now, again, I went to the end first, and I'm telling you that you can start to cultivate your own charm casting kit based on what you have. You can use buttons, you can use thimbles, you can use shells, you can use beads, you can use acorns, you can use small tumbled crystals, I would say, because if you're using like bigger crystals, like I don't know how you would cast like a hunk of labradorite, like I don't think that really lends itself. It's like it's going to be a smaller items rather than bigger items because then you take the casting portion out of the equation. Now, I also do have my Tessera charms, but Tessera is not necessarily a charm casting system, to my knowledge. Like I don't like take the charms from the Tessera and throw them down. I more shake the bag and then pull them out one at a time. And Tessera is its own divination system. It was created to be used in context with each other. So, so I definitely do have the Tessera. It's in the other room and I love it. Let me wait for this to pop here. So Stephanie says, I got a cute charm casting set from Goddess Provisions to get me started. And I love the idea of adding more over time. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And so this is something that Carrie Paris has said a number of times in a number of different classes where it's just like, this is meant to be a base. And her charms are wonderful, by the way. Love them. Like, love everything that Carrie Paris did. But that was back when I first started attending the tarot conferences and I had a full-time job. So a full-time job that was not my own business, not tarot. This was more of my side hustle at that point. So I was using any free money that I had, oxymoron, but to buy all of these different kits. And I was at a different point in my life where I could go ahead and do that. Now I have to be a little bit more discerning with what I'm spending my money on, and if the person will send it to me as a reviewer copy, even better. But I also don't assume that too. So, but at the stage in my career as a tarot reader, I can start to reach out to places, or people will reach out to me and be like, would you like a review copy of this to try it out? And I will always, like, if it's intriguing to me, I will say yes. If it's something that I don't think I can have a kind word about, I probably won't accept it. But I will always be honest. It's my strength and my curse at the same time. So anyway, yes, you can add more over time. So first of all, let me do this in the order that I got them. How about that? So the very first charm casting kit I got was actually Lenormand. So This is, and again, Carrie Paris. I'm going to say Carrie Paris's name about 1 billion times in this episode. I'm sure I said it 1 billion times in the original episode. So this is, specifically, it is a charm casting kit. These are charms, yes, but these are charms with the Lenormand symbols. So keep in mind, yes, it's charm casting. Yes, you can throw them, but they are exclusively the 36 cards of the Lenormand deck. So 36 charms to represent the 36 symbols that are on the Lenormand. So you are using not just charm casting rules. You can, but you're also using Lenormand. So you have, like, the biggest charm in here, I think, is the tower and the mouse and the envelope, I believe. So this is my very first charm kit, but it is Lenormand. So keep that in mind. And also, I'm going to also want to make sure that I'm directing you all appropriately too. She's also done the Magpie Oracle Tarot. Let's see. Magpie Oracle, Lenormand Revolution deck, Living Astrology Charts, a Frenda Oracle, casting maps. So she comes out with some different casting maps too. And again, casting maps, casting spreads, casting cloths. You can change these things out. So this one, I think the last one she did was a couple of years ago, a summer solstice casting map. So you can always print that out and then use that to cast your charms onto. Oh no. Well, I don't know if it's available. So I'm also going to put that out here. I don't know if any of these things are still available. So this is also the reason why I started at the end and said, like, you can build your own over time. Okay. So let me take a look at Carrie Paris's shop first. Yeah. Tarot, Magpie Oracle 1 and 2, Lenormand, Everyday Objects. Everyday objects are my specialties, while combining these tools is my passion. I am devoted to the spirit of divination and committed to making it an accessible craft for all levels. Bottom line, I am constantly pursuing ideas that promote the ease and power of divination, but with a unique twist. So, Siren Song Lenormand, that's another deck I have. Fantastic as well. That's card. Wild Harmonic Oracle cards. Lenormand Revolution, Magpie Oracle 2, Keepsake Box, Magpie Oracle Tarot Talismans. So again, so this is the Lenormand one. She also has one for Tarot Talismans as well. So, like, I'm going to look at that. I don't know if anything's actually, like, available, but and also the Relative Tarot. That's a good one as well. So I'm going to put this into the chat. But also, Stephanie, if you've just finished a Lenormand class, right? Think about different talismans or different charms that you can use to represent the different cards of the Lenormand. Are you able to find, like, a snake charm? Are you able to find, a star charm? Are you able to find a bouquet or roses? Are you able to find, like, let me show you a little bit of this. So again, here. So you can either, for this, you can reach into the bag or you can throw them. So like here, we have different representations. So you've got the heart, right? You've got the heart. You've got the house or the home. You've got the child. See that? You've got the child. Right, exactly. So good point. Making my own could be a fun scavenger hunt. And also it's almost like you well, I don't need to say that there isn't much love in these sets that I have. There is. Um, there is something to be said about, having that scavenger hunt will forge this personal connection with your divination tool much more than purchasing it. There's the fish. So, and I would also say, go to crafting stores. Go to crafting stores like Michael's or Joann Fabrics, or wherever you get your stuff from, or talk to someone that like makes jewelry and ask them, where do you source your pendants from, or where do you source this from, and make it clear that it's just like, listen, I'm not trying to take away your business. I'm just trying to make a charm casting kit for myself, and I want to make it personal for myself. So, because different symbols are going to speak to us in different ways, right? So this is the Lenormand one. All right. There is also a Tarot Talismans one where it's like kind of the same points, but I don't know if there's all 78 representations. That's probably a huge undertaking. If you want to do that, go ahead and do that. Right? Yeah, Joann's has such great tarot stuff this Halloween. Or spirit. Try spirit. I don't know if they have to have like little stuffs that would work for charm casting, but I will say I did find some really fun stuff in spirit the other day. All right. Any questions so far? Okay. The next one. I'm leaving the big Mamba Jamba Daddy for last, which is the Charming Dead Oracles. Okay. I'm leaving that one for last. That's my like, ooh. So this is the second one that I got. And this is something that I got in conjunction with the chorus that was being taught. And I believe it was Carrie Paris and Andrew McGregor, I believe, co-taught that chorus together, but it was mediumship and casting, seer charms. So this is it. Like, this is like, I know it's falling apart, people, but I love it. And this was the original. So I needed to keep it. I needed to keep it in the back, right? So what this came with was a casting cloth and a tin of charms. Now, I can't even tell you what charms are in here because my cheat sheet is downloaded onto my computer somewhere. Actually, I probably could find it right now if I really wanted to. But again, this is another element of charm casting, which is the surface. So not only that you can find your own, you can probably find a lot in the web if you just search like charm casting map. Again, that's part of the reason why I included Carrie's website here, because she does have on her blog a couple of sample casting maps, I think she calls them. For example, like there's a summer solstice one, there's ancestral healing with the moon, generations oracle, lasting oracles. Yes. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's been like, I'm telling you guys, it's been a while since I've had this. So I'm going to also include this as well, which is her talking about the different oracles. So starts with a quote from Margaret Mead. For the past 7 years, I've been creating divinatory first the quote from Margaret Mead. Any oracle that endures must be of service to at least 3 consecutive generations. Margaret Mead. For the past 7 years, this is in Carrie's words, I've been creating divinatory tools that help open channels to ancestral communication. Some of you may recall the Charming Dead Oracle. You haven't seen that yet, or the Magpie Oracle Seer Charm kits that were part of a series of online courses I co-taught with my gifted friend Andrew Kyle McGregor. See, I'm remembering, guys. I'm remembering. Yet in the beginning, there was the first edition of the Relative Tarot. I have that too. It's a good one. Both versions of the deck sold out almost immediately. So I have the new edition that was picked up by Red Will Weiser, by the way. Artists often describe their creation process as being timeless. I get that now. The Generations Oracle was a relentless, energizing creation, and like the notorious Duende, it wouldn't let go of my intention until we were finished half a year later. So she created a spread that goes along with that. I created the following casting map for Diane Wilkes' Southeastern Tarot Conclave. Like many of my tools, the goal of this map is to help us open a dialogue, specifically with our beloved ancestors. So good timing for this time of year, right? It also combines and layers tarot cards with casting charms, a very happy marriage, though any divination tool will do. This divination is a lighter version of mediumship and for communicating with those on the other side. More specifically, our ancestors. And by lighter, I mean it doesn't require you to go into a deep state in order to start a conversation. That can definitely happen, but for this divination, I encourage you to learn the steps before going into deeper dialogues with your ancestors. So that link that I posted has a ability for you to do a printable download. And you have a whole bunch. You've got physical lesson, mental lesson, emotional lesson, creative lesson, creative impulse, emotional impulse, mental impulse, and physical impulse. So it's definitely got tarot cards within it, but then you can cast your charms, and wherever your charms fall, you can note what charms fell in which column or which circle, and also note where they didn't fall. Because that might indicate some place in which you need to focus or you need to put your attention, or maybe a place where you don't have to worry about that, where you're covered. Okay, so here's the mediumship and casting charms in the tin, and then it's also in a baggie in the tin as well. And then they also sent a little Lenormand card, and this one happened to be the bouquet or flowers, and on the back, find every gift. Very cool. Very, very cool. So this is the baggie, and I can't remember how many charms are in here. And sometimes it's almost better to know, and sometimes it's better to not know what charms come up, like what charms are physically in here, so that when you're truly casting, you're getting almost like a fresher perspective. Depends. Like you don't have to use this for mediumship. Again, I'm going to keep on repeating that. However, it does lend itself very well to mediumship. And also, if you want to learn more about mediumship and using divination tools to access mediumship abilities, there is an episode on that. The replay is available. So just search for mediumship either on my Facebook, Book of Face, or Tube of You. And then this is the casting cloth that goes with it. So sometimes you'll see these casting cloths that I have make an appearance as backdrop to my tarot card of the day pulls. Sometimes, but like notice everything that's coming up here. So there's symbols on it. But there's also words. There's yes, there's no, there's ask again, there's goodbye. So it's got a little bit of a spirit board vibe to it, right? And then also you can read it in conjunction. Like, for example, if you pulled, you ask a question or you're asking something about spirit. So sometimes it's about like recognizing what spirits are talking, right? So there's a different aspect to that class that we got into where it was just like, here's the charm, but like write down like anything that you think of that would be in the physical, anything that you could think of that would be a personality quirk, anything that you could think of like related to each of the charms. So you're getting like multi layers or multiple meanings in one charm, where it's just like, here's the personality quirk, here's the appearance, here's this, here's age, here's relationship to the querent. Am I losing you guys? Are your eyes glazing over, or are you just fascinated? I hope it's the third. But like, for example, I just happened to pull these two. Looks like a boxing glove. Yeah, looks like a boxing glove and a winged heart. So if the boxing glove fell here in the home, could that mean that it's a family member, like a member of immediate family? That was a boxer or really took great pride in their physical appearance, like to exercise, like to work out, or they could have been a literal boxer, or the winged heart in the money sign or near the money sign, or could be even between the winged heart between the money sign and the cross sign. It could be gave a lot to charity. Could be they were very heart on their sleeve with money, or could be very like free with their money, or giving to charity. See, sometimes it could fall on the arrow, and sometimes even the arrow that's pointing, it's just like, is it going clockwise or is it going counterclockwise? Because you do have the arrows going around in both ways, pointing both ways, clockwise or counterclockwise. Now, if you're familiar with witchcraft at all, you'd know that going clockwise is to bring and bring towards. You're like you're making it more, right? And spinning counterclockwise is usually to banish or to get rid of. So you can add on that layer if you happen to have that personally in your knowledge bank too. Good. I'm glad. Like Stephanie's like listening. Katie said it's making sense. Cool. Because it's very like it's such a weird way of mediumship and divination that it's like it's hard to describe sometimes. So I just want to make sure it's just like I'm not like Charlie Day and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia when he's got the conspiracy board with all of the with all of the red threads behind him, and he's got the crazy look in his eye. Like sometimes that's how I feel when I'm talking about divination. So can you see how a casting cloth like this would be very, very helpful to also use in conjunction with like casting the charms onto it? It really does help to bring context. So you can either say casting spread or casting map, and look that up. But this is the map. This is the spread that I got in conjunction with the mediumship and casting seer charms. But also you don't have to be like quite so literal either, because sometimes like I've gotten, gosh, they did a lot of exercises. Carrie and Andrew did a lot of exercises with us, to like kind of prep us for like seeing in a different way, and they were just like, okay, these three charms came out, what would you tell the querent? And not knowing anything. And so I started to like, And they were just like, remember, there's no wrong answers, which freaks me out as a former recovering teacher's pet. Where it's just like there's no wrong answers. Like bullshit. There's a right answer and there's a wrong answer. It's just like you got to kind of like release that when you're doing this kind of work, because it's just like you won't get very far. You get very frustrated, and you also do have to have the willingness to learn and to experiment and to be possibly wrong, right? But I do remember them posting, and it's just like, all right, let's get you into the mindset of looking at these symbols in different ways. And I don't even remember what I said, but I like wrote it down, and I was just like, okay, I'm just going to write down all of my first impressions, and this related to this, and this is it, and it's like, and just send it. Like otherwise, I'm not going to send it. I'm going to second guess and third guess myself until the cows come home, and then I'm never going to send anything at all. And so I did that, and I sent it off, and it's just like, okay, like everyone got, and it was so interesting that everyone that participated got another facet to it, because they used a real person. I think it was either Carrie or Andrew. I think they like used themselves, and it was just like, oh, okay, so that was my relative. That was my relative, and Hilary, you were right about this portion, and Patty, you were right about this, and it's just like, and weirdly enough, I never talked about it, but this, and it's just like, so you were right about that, and it's just like, whoa. So, and you have to like, it's almost like you have to open yourself up and then start to close down. I don't think it really works in the opposite way, where you're like you're closed off, and then you open yourself a little bit up and a little bit up and a little bit off. It's just like it doesn't, for mediumship, especially with charm casting, it doesn't work like that. It's like you do have to like open yourself up wide and then start to pull back with the discernment. Again, am I just crazy eye Charlie Day at this point? Let me know in the chat. So that is the mediumship and casting seer charms. So again, one of these days I might marry up all of these together. But right now I have them in three distinct iterations. the better to entice you all with, my dear. I don't know. So have I used other charms on this casting sheet? I don't think so, actually. Not to say that I'm not open to it. I am open to it, but I don't remember if I have. So it's number 2. Now, number 3, and then we'll do the mid-episode reading. I am looking at the time here. I'm like, oh my God, like we're running. We have time for the mid-episode reading and the weekend forecast. Yes, we do. We will make time. So the big heavy now is the Charming Dead. Now this kit, so this is in a vintage cigar box. This is how it came, by the way. It came like this. And I will tell you, there are some items in here that did not come in it. I will tell you which ones did not come in it. I think there's only like maybe 1 or 2 things. So I stuck the sticker on the top, but it is a Padron cigar box. And again, Stephanie, not only do you want to look at like Michael's, Joanne Fabrics, you also probably want to look in thrift stores, in vintage stores. You might be able to find, or ask a freaking cigar smoker. Like, do you happen to have any cigar cases? All right, shall we open it up? So we open, and hopefully not everything will fall out. So we have a whole bunch of stuff in here. So we have So there's a couple of aspects to this one. So it's not just charm casting in this one, but I will start with the charms first. So we have a bag of charms. And again, the charms might be the same or they might be different as this one. I don't know. Like there's a cornucopia in here. There's a telephone box or a lantern. Yeah, that looks like a telephone box. Old school telephone box. A chess piece. A swimmer. Looks like a hockey mask almost, or a fencer's mask. A wheel, a knot, a button. Told you, buttons, but it's like a cast. It's a cast button. It's not a real button. Palm tree, a unicorn, a poison mask, like lots of different things here. Okay, a mixing bowl, a hanger, box of crayons. It's like a little, I don't know if that's a monkey or an alien. Right? So those are the charms. What did not come, This is my, it's funny. I was like looking over this earlier and I opened up the box and I'm just like, so that's where that pendulum was. This pendulum did not come with this deck, with this kit. So this is my amber pendulum. I don't know where I got my amber pendulum from. I'm sorry, guys. I probably the awareness shop in New Paltz, if I'm remembering correctly. So I've got a bunch of different pendulums. And again, there's an episode for that, I'm fairly certain. So look it up in the archives. So that did not come with this kit. So we've got the charms. We've also got a deck of cards and a dice. So the dice says who, why, what, where, when, how, etc. So all of the like the WH questions, right? Let's open this up. And you know my little tarot heart loves cartomancy, but again, these cards are not tarot and they're not Lenormand because there's way more cards in here than a Lenormand, which is 36. And these aren't tarot symbols. So we've got like a lady, we've got like a house with a pipe, we've got an archery target and a mortar and pestle, perfume, and I don't know if that's like a can't even tell what that is. An owl and a squid, bell and two people at a table. So interesting stuff here. So there's like a combination of charms and cards and dice, basically proof that anything can really be used. Okay, so there's that. So we got the charms, we got the cards, we got the dice. We've also got one thing might be missing. The one thing that's missing from this, I think this is the reason why I added my amber pendulum, is because there was a key on a long chain that can be used as a pendulum and also as, you know, a charm as well. Now, where that key on the long chain is, I think it's probably in my jewelry box because I was probably wearing it as jewelry as well as having a pendulum close to hand. So that's probably the something that's missing. That's the reason why I put in my pendulum. All right. We have also the spread cloth. I'm not going to take it out of its wrapping. Actually, should I take it out of its wrapping? Why not? Clearly, I haven't used this as much as I've used the smaller and medium ship. Another spread cloth, guys. Let's put him. So definitely a must for spooky season, right? So you can use this and you can put the charms on top and see which skeleton those charms are drawn to. Because if you have a bunch of ones over here, it might be someone that's very doctor minded. Like, notice the little symbol there, and also the heart chakra. You've also got the skeleton with the chakras. You got one that's dressed up as a ghost with the chains. You've got a quizzical one. You've got a witchy one or a sorcery one. You've got a dead skeleton, which is kind of like, I don't know, overkill, I guess. Pardon the pun. So you can use this as a spread cloth. And now I'm not going to be able to fold it up correctly. Which is probably why I never folded it to begin with. All right, there. I think it's there. Yes. Found it. I found the fold. Beautiful. Okay. And then finally, we have this little bottle here. Now it is a bottle. It's a potion bottle or an oil. And someone's going to have to verify this for me because I don't remember, but took it out. So here it is. Okay. I smelled it and I'm just like, that's Van Van oil. There's something about Van Van oil. Yeah, it has to be Van Van oil. So I'm going to have to reach out to Andrew or Carrie and ask them, one, it's been a few years. Is this Van Van oil still good? I'm sure it is. You guys should see my potions box. Maybe that should be another episode. Not next week, because we're probably doing the annual reading of The Blue-Nosed Witch by Margaret Embry next week. But maybe one of these days we'll go through my potions, my lotions and potions. I'll do an episode for that. But Van Van oil is used a lot in connection with the spirits. Sometimes I'll use Van Van oil on the tops of my feet and the soles of my feet, especially when I'm working any metaphysical kind of working for this time of year. I haven't used it in a number of years because I didn't realize that I had it. If you don't know what you don't have, or you don't know what you do have, you make do with what you know you have. So, but there you go. So those are my 3 kits together. Let's see, any other notes that I have? No. And yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm told, let's see. Yeah, so, oh yeah, I remember now. Mercury dime pendulum. That was what was in it. That was what was in it. So I'm going to share this link with you guys. Please don't be mad. It's sold out. It's from a few years ago. It's almost like Sophia. Like, I know you were saying, like, I don't want to know because I don't want to buy. You can't. You can't buy what's already sold out. So in a way, I'm helping you out. So here is the full contents. 54 card pocket deck. Each card in the Charming Dead deck houses two unique symbols that trigger a poetic dialogue, often communicated through the archetypal dead. Okay. Mercury dime pendulum for reading the direction and movement of the archetypal environment from the other side. So, yes, I remember the Mercury dime now. So I think I took out the Mercury dime pendulum because Mercury dimes are really good to use as protection from Mercury retrograde fuckery, which I believe we've talked about before. Again, there's an episode for that. There's an episode for almost everything that I'm talking about tonight, which shows that I've been doing this show way too long. A 67-piece metal charm casting kit with a 6-sided die that reads the who, what, why, where, when, and how of the messages. An archetypal dead casting cloth for pinpointing, understanding, and navigating the love of thousands. Handmade charming dead blessing oil, charged and blessed to protect, attract, and open channels of communication. It's Van oil, or Andrew's version of Van oil, which it's potent. When I smelled it, I was like, that's Van. All items packed into customized cigar box, topped with Charming Dead Oracle's logo and sealed with a magically charged thread. Yes, I still have the thread too. Still have the thread as well. I kept everything. It's there somewhere. So, all right. Any questions? Considering you have only 5 minutes to go before Gala's show tonight, and I really wanted to attend it. Also, I need to get dinner because I have not eaten dinner yet. Do we want to do the mid-episode reading? And is there any questions about charm casting? Because again, we have another episode about this. Yeah, where's my search? Guys, it was 4 years ago. It was 4 years ago. Don't worry about it, Stephanie. Don't worry about it. I'm putting in a link to the episode on charm casting. Gosh, that is nutty. Here, let's see. Oh, that's back when my it's back when my hair was purple. All right, so let's do the mid-episode reading, and I will pull 3 cards from my tarot deck. I might pull a couple of charms too, since we're talking about charms. So go ahead and first let's like pull up the lottery jar widget and the comment snake, and as usual, where is it? Go ahead and yes, I did. I did redo the purple recently, but it was purple. It was purple for brown hair, which was not the same because I had like much lighter hair at that point, so it was quite purple at that point. So if you want to be considered for the live reading, comment tarot in the chat, TAROT. And I will put up the countdown Give you guys a couple of minutes. All right, so Stephanie is in. I'm going to leave all of this out. And I'm going to allow the winner to choose whether or not they want charms from the charm casting. In this case, I'm not going to actually throw the charms because that'll just be a mess that I don't want to clean up. But I will pull some from out of the bag and see if it adds to the reading. So that's another aspect of charm casting. You can add to your already preferred method of divination with charms too. And while we're waiting, let's see. I'm not sure. Let's see. For some reason, that link is not working. Hold on. That's why. Okay. Wonder why it can't be played. Don't know why that video can't be viewed. Very strange. Alrighty. All right, it looks like Stephanie is the winner. Gave you all a chance. Let's go ahead and stop. And okay. So Stephanie, go ahead and put your question into the chat. I will pull 3 cards for you. And I will probably pull 3 charms for you. So just let me know which one you want to be pulled from, the Charming Dead or the Mediumship and Seer casting charms. Because I can do either. Well, I mean, yes, it's by default, but a lot of people here are very, very kind. Yeah, I'm just doing my mid-episode reading.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna head out because it's game time.
But I want to come with you. All right, I'll meet you there.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, then I can wait a little. I mean, I can wait a little bit longer.
All right. So Stephanie's question is, since I could use something to look forward to, what is the outlook for the creative project I'm working on, and whichever charms are your favorites? So I haven't really worked with the charming dead. So I think I'll grab these. So I'll pull 3 charms from there, and also use the dice. How about that? So, what is the outlook for the creative project I'm working on? Whichever charms. Okay. Creative outlook. Oh, interesting. So right now, I think that right now you're a little bit stuck, but all will be well. I hate to say that though. So I'm going to pull the charms after I do the tarot. All right. So you are getting the Two of Cups reversed. You're getting the Queen of Swords reversed, and then you're getting the Strength card as the final outcome card. So that's what the reason why I'm saying, like, right now it's a little bit rough. Like, I don't know where you are in your creative project, but right now it feels like you're stuck in the doldrums. You're trying to get a breeze, like you're trying to, like, there's some stuck energy that needs to be addressed here. So you got the Two of Cups reversed. You also have the Queen of Swords reversed. So to me, the Two of Cups reversed is just like you are just not loving it right now. Like, you want to love it, but you are hating what you're loving. Yes, damn all of that blockage. So definitely seeing the blockages happening right now. And it's just like this passion project of yours, this creative process of yours. You were loving it and loving it and loving it. And right now it's like you're in a bad relationship with your creative project, where it's just like, I just can't see, like, oh, he used to be so great and now I can't get through to him, and we're not talking, and da da da, and we're sleeping in separate beds, and I just want to feel that harmony again. And then also the Queen of Swords reversed. It's just like you're having trouble communicating exactly what you want. It's like that. Like, I mean, I'm a writer by nature. Like, I wrote my first book when I was 10 years old. It was a blatant rip up of the Babysitters Club, by the way. I had no imagination to speak of, so I just plagiarized. I just like grabbed, Babysitters Club, and made it the Helping Hands Club. I'm not joking. Like, that is actually the name of it. But what 7-year-old writes a book? This 7-year-old. Anyway, but like you you just there's just something about that process where it's just like the ideas in your mind is just not coming out onto the page. It's not coming the way you want it. You're like, and we all have this too. Okay, you're going to be doing a lot of writing for this. Yes. Okay. But it's just like right now, the combination of the Two of Cups reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed is like you just can't, like, you're out of love with it. That doesn't mean that the love's not there. It's just because of the stuckness that you're out of love with it. And it's just like you're gonna get it back. You're gonna be like Stella and get your groove back. But the Queen of Swords reversed to me is like ideas in mind that on page. Like, it's just like it's not coming out the way you want it or the way that you imagined it in your head. But like, it never comes out the way we imagine in our head, and that's okay, because you do have the outcome of the Strength card. It's just like, to me, the Strength card in the final outcome position is like everything is going to be okay. I don't know how it's going to be okay. Like from the movie Shakespeare in Love, like all and like, what is it, and it all ends well. I don't, and like, how does it end well? I don't know, it's a mystery. But it does and it will end well. But right now it's just a little bit of a slog. So Those are the three cards that are coming up. And also the strength card coming up as a final outcome card is much better to me than in the middle, because in the middle I'd be like, hang in there, kitten. And it's just like, you don't need those platitudes right now. But you do need the message of it is going to work out and is going to be okay at the end. So keep shining on. Like, you just needed the acknowledgement that it's tough right now. Like, you needed somebody else to be like, yeah, it is tough right now. All right, so 3 charms. By the way, when you're casting with charms, like, I would say in a pinch, you don't have to pull every. So I'm just going to cast, plopping it down, and I'm letting them fall where they may. Most of it is on the Queen of Swords reversed. Most of the charms are falling that way. You do have the cornucopia coming up. You do have it's like almost like this like weird like alien guy, this alien dude. He came up upside down, so I'm just like seeing his butt. It's almost like it's also like he's like mooning me, like ha ha ha. Question is also good to know it won't be a waste of time too. It's not a waste of time. Anything that is like anything that's worth it, like it seems like the hardest things are usually the ones that are worth it in the end. So it's just like it's almost like that little alien dude mooning me on top of the Queen of Swords reverse. It's like you haven't found your way in to whatever it is that you're trying to create, whatever story is behind it. You haven't quite found the way in, but once you find it, it's going to click. But right now, it's like kind of like, yeah. But that cornucopia is right next to the little weird alien dude. And I don't know if this is like sci-fi related or at all, but could be. But the cornucopia tells me there's much more to this, and that there is like this fertile playground to be had. So just use it, right? Um, then you also have, oh, it's a comedic project. Okay, makes sense. Then ya. You also have like a little like Marilyn Monroe like dress here on the top of the Queen of Swords. So it's just like whatever you can do to like sexy it up and make it fun again for you is going to help release it. Like it's just like it's comedic, but it's just like but it hasn't been fun. So how can you make it fun while you're making it funny? You also have the telephone box, and then you have you do have a like a little monkey guy too. So like the two monkey dudes are kind of like up together. So it's just like again, communication with that telephone booth. Look, but it's like an old school kind of humor, like it's classic kind of humor. Shut your butt. Are you serious? It's based on the Golden Girls, so dresses make sense. Okay. Okay. So like the classics never die. And same thing with comedy. So go back to that old school. Like for some reason, this telephone booth, it's just like it's not really in existence so much anymore. So just like, but it's like it's a classic for a reason, right? Musical parody, awesome, cool. And then finally, you do have like this poison gas mask here, um, off to the end position over like the strength card, but that was also upside down. To me, that poison gas mask, it's just like it's kind of like an out of left field kind of thing, but it's just like right now you're at the stage where no idea is a bad idea, and you got to get through the bad ideas to get to the good ideas. So like everything, like put it all down, all of it. And I'll show you some of these charms. So just let me know if that makes sense. Some of it might not make sense. Got the cornucopia. Got the weird little alien dude. Or he could be like considered a fairy even. He's got the ears too. And then I showed you the other ones. There you go. Awesome. Thank you. I'll let you know how it goes once we hit the stage in a few months. Yes, please let me know how it goes. And thank you once again for participating. Thank you guys so much for like holding back. It's like the person that really needs the reading is the one that usually gets the reading in the mid-episode reading. And I'm so appreciative of you guys for like, allowing the space for the person that needs the reading to get the reading. So you guys are good eggs. So let us quickly do the weekend forecast. I think I'm going to go with the star seed. I'm not going to ask. I'm just going to tell. I'm going to go with the star seed because that's what my client wanted this morning. And it was like a whack upside the head for her. So I'm wondering if we'll get the same card. We might. All right. Pull the cards. Let me make sure that I have the full deck here. All right. And then once again, Stephanie, thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. I know it is a vulnerable act to be read for in a public space, and I appreciate you taking the leap. All right. How's our weekend going to pan out according to the Star Seed Oracle? I already know what the astrology says for us. But what does the Oracle cards have to say? All right. Not what I expected. So we are getting the golden children. Inner child, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. So let's see. Not the card that my client got this morning, by the way. All right. So golden children, children of the sun, are highly advanced, extremely intelligent souls who are incarnating increasingly on planet Earth. They have little or no personal karma and possess incredible gifts and intuitive abilities. Golden children are born with a very clear mission. Many remember it from a young age and begin answering and sharing it early in life. Due to their unique intelligence, they may find themselves easily bored in school. Most have never incarnated on Earth before, and so if they're not supported in the right ways, they struggle with physical life here. They're often referred to as the new humans. If you pull this card, it might be a sign that you're being called to mother, father, or nurture a child. You may be called to tend to your own inner child, a creative idea or project, Stephanie, or a new beginning. To treat yourself or the new beginning with sweet, tender love. To nurture and nourish it. To give it every chance to grow and reach adulthood. To encourage it. To water it. To see the world through the innocence of a child. To see yourself and all others as innocent children. To remember that deep down, everyone is trying their best. And if they're treated with a tender heart, they'll not harden as they journey through this great adventure called life. How can you treat yourself or others more tenderly this weekend? Oh, it's probably going to be me. I need to be tender with myself. And if this is hitting a little too close to home, like, I feel you. I get it. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for allowing me to take a break last week. And I believe next week is the last week or the last Friday in the month of October. So we will be doing the annual reading of The Blue-Nosed Witch by Margaret Embry. This is something I love to do every year. And honestly, people have come to expect it by now. And if you're wondering what that's all about, there are replays for that too. But I hope you'll join us for this year's reading of The Blue Nosed Witch. It's like one of my childhood favorite stories. Like, is it any wonder that I grew up to be a witch and a tarot reader? No, probably not. So, yes, Stephanie, you as well. Please do be tender with yourself. And Fran says, yep, 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 yep. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Once again, I am Hilary, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because, yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. And if you would like to book a reading with me or a tapping session with me, you can do so at tarotbyhilary.com. Have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead, and I will see you on Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our annual reading of The Blue Nosed Witch. Bye.